Hey guys, how you doing? Just want to come on here and do a quick video about time. I was doing research about time and studying, and I just thought of something that was kind of interesting, but I never really thought of it before, and I want to share it with y'all about time. In the Bible, it talks about all the time about the end of the world, the end of time, the end of the age, things like that. But something when I was looking, I believe that Jesus is the master of time. He is time. He's outside of time. He created time. So, uh, when most people think of those phrases about the end of time, the end of the world, the end of the age, they think of it as the world itself, the universe, the earth being gone. That's the end of the world. But I was thinking of it kind of maybe what it's describing more is the end of time itself. That God is outside of time. He is timeless. Jesus is outside of time. He's timeless. And when these things happen, then all of a sudden time is gone. And I've seen a lot of um, videos and different TV shows about near-death experiences, and a lot of people, that's what they say after when they have their near-death experience, that when they get to this place, whether it's heaven or whether it's hell, they said that they can recognize automatically that time is not there, that time doesn't exist in that dimension or heaven or whatever you want to call it, that place. Okay, so basically what I was reading first was Revelations 10:6-7, which says, "And swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things which therein are, that there should be time no longer. But in those days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God should be finished, as he hath declared to his servants the prophets." So, time, that there should be time no longer. So that's it. That's the end of time, right? The end of time itself, not like the end of all existence or the end of everything. Just time ends right there. And it says the mystery of God, which the mystery of God is Jesus is sending his son to be sacrificed from the foundation of the world and until time ends. And that's okay. And then, like I was saying, Jesus is timeless. And if you look at Daniel 7:22, it says, "Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possess the kingdom." Ancient of Days, right? Now, some people will be like, that's God, but Jesus, it's the same. Jesus, he's the Ancient of Days. He's timeless. And he created time. And if you look at Colossians 1:16, "For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible," time's invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. So everything was created for him, by him. He created time itself. Jesus did. Now also, I was looking at, I don't know if you've heard this before, but I have. So if you have, then that's great. If not, then I'll share it with you. In the beginning, Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? In the beginning, time, God created the heavens, space, and the earth, matter, right? Okay. P.T. Simmons says, got that from the first time I saw that video. So in the beginning, time. So there, God, Jesus was creating time, God. Now in the Hebrew, it's et, right there. That word in the middle is et, which is the Av and the Tav, the Alpha and the Omega, which is Jesus, because he says, I'm the Alpha and the Omega. So right then in the beginning, he's creating time. He is there, and the foundation of the world is there in time. John 1:1 is the same thing. Et is in there. So in the Old Testament, Genesis 1:1, you have et, the Alpha and the Omega, in the beginning of time. He's there and creating it. And in John 1:1, it is in there. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So there you have him creating it there. Um, and he can bend time to his will. Like you see, he can change his form, to where people don't recognize him, or they do recognize him, and he can bend time itself. And at first I was kind of struggling with that. Well, where in the Bible does it say that that Jesus can bend time? He can make time go as he wills it. Well, we know the story of Joshua, when the sun stands still. That's in a form of bending time, of holding time. But then it came to me, and I looked it up, and I got this. Matthew 24:22. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. He shortens the days. He makes time go shorter. And I know that the older you get, it feels like that the shorter time is. The summer when you were a child felt like a year. Now the summer feels like a couple of weeks. It's like it's here and then it's over. The older you get, it seems like that time gets shorter. Well, maybe that's because that's what's happening, that Jesus is shortening the times. Now, if some people will argue with that and say, well, that's not what that means, shorten the days, that means that like he stopped the judgment from being long. But if you look at Mark 13:20, it says, and except that the Lord had shortened those days. So he shortened them. Jesus, the Lord, shortened them. Okay. And then basically Matthew 28 and Daniel 12, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, even until the end of the world. But Daniel 12:14. But though, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall greatly increase. So that's just what I wanted to share with y'all real fast. Leave me some comments if you have anything to say about it. But I was just thinking about, I do believe that everything's going to go away and everything's going to come again, because that's what it says. But maybe this is something that we're missing, that actually what he's saying in these certain areas is that time itself will stop. Especially in Revelations 10, 6, and 7. It's like, and if you read in Revelations 10:1, it sounds like it's Jesus, because it's the rainbow on his head, it's a covenant and all that kind of stuff. But maybe this is what this is speaking of, is time itself going away. Okay, thank you guys. God is love, and I love God. Amen.